Hello, you're watching the Diary of the World Nomad Games on Kazakh TV. The most important event for the national sport has unfolded this fall in Cholpon-Ata. The program of competitions includes 37 kinds of sports. In 2016, there were 14 less. In 2014, the program included only 10 kinds. Today we will tell about the most interesting sports and no less interesting guests of the event. Togyz Kumalak literally means 9 rolls. According to one of the versions, in ancient times, cattlemen played this game using dry mutton pellets. Another version says that Kumalak should have been the size of a mutton pellet, but was instead made of wood and stone. Today Togyz Kumalak is very popular in Kazakhstan and Kyrgyzstan, where it is called Togyz korgool. The game develops an oral counting, that's why it's called the algebra of nomads. The match can last 4 to 5 hours. During the game, rivals have to use all 4 basic mathematical actions. The game is built not only at the speed of calculation, but also on tactics.
Әр ойыншыда 9 отаудан болады, әр отауда 9 құмалақтан болады.
Each player has 9 otao. In each of them, there are 9 peas. Altogether, there are 81 of them. If the last stone hits the opponent's hole and the number of stones in it becomes even, then the stones from this hole go to the hole of the player who made the move. The main goal is to collect 82 or more stones. During his turn, the player takes all the stones from any of his holes and, starting with the same hole, unfolds them one at a time, counterclockwise, in his own and opponent's holes. If there is only one stone in a source hole, then it is shifted to the next hole. Now Togyz Kumalak and Togyz korgool have the same rules. But before, there was a difference only in the rules of the move. Today's rules of the game was officially adopted in 1948. This game is now available for everyone. You can download it on any smartphone, you can play it with someone online, and you can play it with a computer. Another intellectual game presented at the tournament is Ovari. It was invented in Ghana. This game was part of the combat training. Before the march, the soldiers sat at the board to check their reaction. The seeds of the plant were used for the game. If you touch it, you will understand that there is something there. Yes, there is something for sure. I think you can take it with you and plant it. The outer shell is very hard. It can be opened and planted, although we have not tried to grow it in Kazakhstan. We are sitting on the floor, because originally the game was created in this way. People played where it was convenient. Therefore, everything is reconstructed here historically. The seeds of this tree are called Kosapela bondu. It turns out that an incredibly beautiful tree grows out of these small seeds.
У нас, конечно, соперники очень сильные. Это в первую очередь, так как является африканской игрой.
We have very strong opponents. They are representatives from Ghana, Antigua and Barbuda. They are masters of their craft. If we are well-deserved masters of sports, then they are grand masters. Our country, they are classified as masters, but we can fight for sure.
Категория мастеров, то есть по этой игре. Но мы думаем, что можем дать бой.
Another game presented to the descendants of nomads, Mangala. It has Turkish roots.
Mangala games has a great story. The more ancient game is Togyz Kumalak, and our game is Turkish Mangala. As child behind Togyz Kumalak, and a little easy because there is lots of version of this game, and some of them has more holes and seeds or stones, and some of them is less.
In the team classification, Kazakhstan's men's national team in Togyz Kumalak was the first. The same success was achieved by our girls' team in the Ovari. In the game Mangala, both men's and women's teams were awarded silver medals. One of the most spectacular disciplines in the world of nomadic games is the Sambo competition. Each team brought its top fighters. Kazakhstan is no exception. The local sports palace could not accommodate all those who wanted to see the action. This kind of wrestling is famous for its entertainment, especially since present world and Asia champions have gathered for the tournament on Sambo champions. Kazakh Kumalak won the World Championship last year. From him people expected only gold medals.
Каждый чемпион своей республики. Спонтанно никто никого не ставит.
Every champion of his republic, everyone who was selected, performed at international competitions. Here everyone is equal. Who trained the hardest wins. There were training camps in Togyz. We trained very hard together. The team as a whole is very well prepared for these competitions.
Команда в целом хорошо подошла к этим соревнованиям.
The name of the Sambo fight comes from the word self-defense. This sport was born in the Soviet Union. The wrestlers from almost all the CIS countries came to the Nomad Games. The best sportsmen in the end were sportsmen from Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzstan and Kazakhstan. Our Sambo wrestlers won medals in all weight categories, and Kumalak and Ruslan Jarkanbayev became champions. In the competitions for Taigan races, Kazakhs were left without medals, but the competitions themselves impressed many. According to the conditions of the competitions, the dogs participating in the races must run a distance of 350 meters and a minimum time. To make sure dogs will not turn off the road, in front of them there is a rope to which the fox carcass is tied. Taigans are born hunters and see nothing but a potential prey. They overcome the distance to the finish in about 20 seconds.
Отличительной особенностью казахской тазы от других собак.
A distinctive feature of Kazakh Togyz from other dogs of greyhounds is that our dog is the only one in the world that is considered a universal. I will give an example. The Russian greyhound works only for seeing, but she can't locate a trace. In Russia, there's a royal hunt. They use two breeds of dogs when hunting, a Russian hound and a Russian greyhound.
Тоже достояние царская охота. Они используют при охоте две породы собак: русская гончая и русская борзая. Русская гончая занимается.
The Russian hound is engaged in driving the game. On the edge of the forest, there are greyhounds. They catch a hare. The Kazakh Togyz finds a trace, runs for prey, and catches it. Almost all Togyz dogs can do that. I think they have it at a genetic level.
При этом апортируют. То есть практически все тазы апортируют. Это, я так думаю, это на генетическом уровне заложено у собак.
There were cases when Togyz alone could fight the wolf. A hunter with such a dog does not need a gun or even a bow. Yerlan Kabayev has no doubt that he and his Togyz will still make themselves known at the international arena because they have gained invaluable experience at these games. Athletes from Kazakhstan at the current games took part in all the disciplines represented. This year the team is 3 times bigger than the team which came to previous Nomad Games, which were held in 2016. As a result, the national team of Kazakhstan, having won 72 medals, took the second place in the medal standings, on the last day of the competition, bypassing the Russian team. In the first place, the hosts of the tournament are the team of Kyrgyzstan. Muratkan Berikbol was the first of our team to win a medal at these games. Before the opening ceremony, he became a bronze medalist in the national Tajik wrestling. I am satisfied with the result. I passed 2 training camps. I hoped to win the first prize, but I got only the 3rd. In general, I train in belt wrestling, but here I performed at the Tajik wrestling. Was it difficult to change? No, they're almost the same. The rules are similar. Will you participate in the next games? If I pass the selection, I will. An additional motivation for the athletes was the cash prize, which was established by the government of Kyrgyzstan for all prize winners. The prize fund is 28 million soms. Prize winners and champions receive certificates. Banks transfer money to the personal account of the athlete. Third World Nomad Games are already history, and in the next issue, we will sum up the results of the event. Don't miss the most interesting facts about Nomad competitions.